Oi, my drillas. It's your geezer, Big Donny Coward. Today, I'm going to be doing a talking video. I know, right? Ooh, you're going to see my face a lot today. Get used to it. But today, I'm going to be going over the top 3 eras of Demonology Warlock. As you know, I've been very passionate about this spec for, well, how many years has it been? Well over a decade. Let's just go with that. Like, what? 13 years. 13 years. 13 years I've played this spec. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I think it's very cool. And I've experienced many different changes in its playstyle over the years. I've seen it just go from just fucking tank utility bot to turning into a demon to draining the essence of all your demons, having a massive demonic army, to even utilizing the power of your demons to blast the target, and to actually having the real demon army. So today, I'm going to pick with you my top 3 in not order of favoritism, but more order of chronological order. So, let's get started straight away, shall we? Third position. So this is in WoW's time span, the first of these eras to come up. So Mr. Pandaria, Metamorphosis. Oh, great times we had with Metamorphosis, honestly. When Demonology Warlock had Metamorphosis, it was one of the better times in the game's existence. It was just fun. You became the demon. You weren't just a summoner of demons. You weren't a weak-willed coward who would send demons in to do his bidding. No. You were the demon. That's right. And I know some of you might say, well, actually, this is something that demon hunters should be able to do. But all I'm going to say is, if you genuinely think that, look at Gul'dan, Kil'jaeden, Sargeras, Archimonde, you know? Were they not warlocks who became demons? Yeah. Riddle me that, Batman. Riddle me that. So, Metamorphosis Demonology. It made so much sense. It was so cool. It was so fun to play. And honestly, like, who doesn't miss Metamorphosis as a Demolock main? Seriously. Like, there's plenty of times I'll be talking about Demonology and we'll be saying, oh, I wish this was back. Always, it's Metamorphosis we wish was back. We want Metamorphosis. Bring it back. Give it back to us, Blizzard. Yeah. Metamorphosis definitely takes one of the Hall of Fame spots for Demonology. On to the second era of Demonology, which I thought is definitely claiming that Hall of Fame spot. It's not just one but 2 builds concurrently. It's in Shadowlands, actually, of all things, I know. 9.1 Demonology. So, a lot of you may know, our basic tyrant rotation was a thing where we summon demons, we get a big demon army, so our tyrant comes about, he takes a bit of their life force, as that's how demonic consumption works. He gets more power per, like, total amount of life he's consumed, and then he blasts. Of course, many of you would have played, Nightfey. You played Nightfey Warlock, which yeah, I can see why you play Nightfey. You want that juicy haste buff as you soul right. You want the extra mastery you get as well. You want the stat stick to juice that tyrant as much as possible. And that is what everyone played. That's how they did their big damage to tanks with domination. I'm not gonna fault you for it. Not all of us were one of those Nightfey losers though. Like seriously, come on. You're playing a warlock and you chose to pick the Fairy Covenant? Really? Nah. As you can see in the backlog of this channel, I was a Necrolord and Demonologist through and through. And let me tell you, it was just as viable as Nightfey Demonology Warlock. I know, that's right. A spec having 2 viable builds options that you can play in the season. And it's not just, oh, well, I'm pressing Decimating Bolt now, and so that does more damage, and my Demon Bolts hit harder. No. No, there was another build based around this. Not only would you swap from using, I don't know, the Wilfred's Legendary, which is the cooldown reduction on your Tyrant, as many Night Fae players used, so they could have 1 minute Tyrants, which would allow them to get the 1 minute go with most of their demons, and then the 2 minute go with the Grimrar Felguard, and then Valfiend would just be held for like 15 seconds every single Tyrant. Poor Valfiend. But us Necrolord Demonologists, Bale Spider's burning. Now I know a lot of people pick Night Fae. Why did they pick Night Fae over Necrolord so heavily, despite Necrolord being such a viable build? If not, may have even been slightly stronger. Night Fae was just outright easier. Like, Night Fae, the rotation for that was just the standard Tyrant setup, Demonology rotation, with a Soul Rot. Just to, like, as you summon the Tyrant. Necrolord took this rotation, no Soul Rot, of course, you can't have Soul Rot as Necrolord. And it added Decimating Bolt, yeah, and it added Bale Spider's Burning Core. Bale Spider's Burning Core meaning that you need to consistently Shadow Bolt to maintain 4 stacks of a buff, which increase your Demon Bolt damage. Then you need Decimating Bolt as you had all your demons out for the sacrifice souls damage you could get, so you could hit with the largest Demon Bolts possible. Now, I know, pen and paper doesn't sound too complex. It's just, oh yeah, make sure the Demon Bolts are buffed. But you also have to make sure that you not only never overcap on Soul Shards, but you never overcap on Demonic Cores, and you always have Demonic Cores to spend in these crucial moments where you have all your demons, you have the Decimating Bolt running, and you have your 4 stacks of Burning Core, which, by the way, you should never let drop off in the entire fight. For me, amazingly fun build. I know it's not the traditional, oh, I'm the Master Summoner, I've summoned everything to do the work for me. It's like, no, I'm the Master Summoner. But their powers, the powers of what I've summoned, their life force, only increases my own power. Sacrifice souls meant you did more Demon Bolt damage per demon you had active. That was the real sacrifice souls. Honestly, very, very cool ability, bringing power to the Warlock itself, just like Metamorphosis did. And what I personally think was better than the old Metamorphosis rotation was that you still maintained that whole Master Summoner toolkit. But Demonology should never be without being the Master Summoner. It's all great and all having power to the Warlock themselves. In fact, very, very fun. But this last build, it's not about the Warlock's personal power. And I know, a lot of you know, I don't like this expansion, but I have to give it credit where credit's due. Dragonflight, start of Season 2. Hounds of War was gone. Nether Portal was booming. The damage was insane. The tier set worked beautifully. We had a desync. We had a massive problem with, like, Valfiend always had to be held for 15 seconds for the 1 minute Tyrant, which was annoying. And Grimrar Felguard would be a 2 minute cooldown. So if you played the 1 minute 30 Tyrant, which was also very popular, then you'd have to hold that for 30 seconds. Nah, Season 2 tier set brings it down if you're skillful enough. If you sucked, sorry, get good. But if you're skillful enough, 1 minute 30 Grimrar Felguard, or even less if you were good. And then, of course, you have your entire Nether Portal rotation. What I've got to say is, having the old CDRs with, like, the Wilfred CDR on a Tyrant, and for all 3 Warlock specs, where it depended on how well you played the spec, was how much cooldown reduction you'd get on your main cooldown. So if you were actually good then you'd get more than just a 30-second reduction as Demonology. Uh, of course, Blizzard nerfed us because people complained that they couldn't play the spec. Um, so, yeah, yeah. Um, Rip to that idea, I guess. But, yeah, then there was the tier set, which, bring it back, bring it back. Just, like, having the cooldown reduction on Grimroth Elgard was very cool. Okay, the extra damage increase that it gave, making Grimroth Elgard effectively like a tyrant, 20% increased damage for all demons. Insane. Having that in the game was also very cool, but I playing devil's advocate, it doesn't really need to be brought back because it would make Demonology an absolute ungodly powerhouse again. But having the cooldown reduction on it was very fun. What it meant is we got to use Valfiend off cooldown, which I know, it's like something that never happens. Being able to use Valfiend every 45 seconds, it felt good. We had the 1 minute 30 Tyrant, Reign of Tyranny, so the damage it did was how much effort you put into it. It's all based on your skill. Everything you did was impactful for that Tyrant. Yep, as I mentioned, the cooldown reduction of Grimroth Elgard led into that. Then on top of that, you had the Nether Portal, which the Pit Lord and just the entire size of the army you'd summon would also be down to how well you played. So if you were good, if you put the effort in, if you really, really tried, then you would have a true juiced army, a massive Pit Lord, a massive Tyrant, and you deserved that top spot on the meters. You earned it. You put the work in. You earned it. You didn't just send a Felguard in and send some imps in and just AFK'd. Nah. You came, you saw, and you bloody conquered. And yeah, I must say, those three are definitely the best eras of Demonology I have played through. Honourable mention to Legion having some very cool abilities like Demon Wrath and thal'kiels Consumption, and then Demonic Empowerment, but I guess you don't really need that now that Tyrant exists. But yeah, very cool back then. Shame to see some of them go. Also introduced some very cool abilities like Bile Scourge Bombers, which I must say, playing the Bile Scourge build on something like Tindral, also very fun as Demonology. Uh, I just wish we could have done something like this last season when Demonology was even more like challenging and enjoyable. But that's why the honorable mentions and haven't quite made it to the top. Yeah, also having 3 Dreadstalkers, bring it back. Bring it back. That was where the juice was at. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you have anything that you want to put in the comments down below, show your love for Demonology, then go for it. However, if you dare say Season 3 tier set or like Season 1 RNG Handigal Dam procs, when I've done a video on this channel about how heavily RNG this spec is, then you're a numpty. You're actually a numpty. And if you say that this new rotation we currently have is good, then I'm sorry, but go back to your main spec because you're clearly alting Demonology. Alright, thank you, have a great day, follow the socials down below in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Sweet.